everyone, I am Glamourina Loon. I have a new video today about video games, and I have my baby Mocha here to help me talk to you guys about it. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? He's so cute. I wanted to talk about games for October, games that kind of get you in that October mood. So we're talking spooky or kind of cozy spooky too, you know, have that autumn vibe to it. That's the vibe I'm going for with the games that I want to play this month. So in particular, I wanted to talk about games on Xbox Game Pass. I recently got an Xbox and I've been really enjoying Game Pass. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that, the games that I found on there that might work. So if you have an Xbox and you have Game Pass, these are the games that I recommend. Now, all of these games are based on my preference in games. So obviously there are lots of horror games, there are lots of survival games. Guess he's just gonna chill there. There are lots of horror games, there are lots of survival games, but I tend to gravitate most towards like RPGs, JRPGs, and cozy type games. So that's what you will see on this list. There are a couple of games that are a little bit outside of that scope, like platformers and stuff, which I won't necessarily play, but I think that they fit the theme of this video so well that I'm going to include them in case that's something that you like. So here are a few games that I'm going to talk to you about today. Mocha says, let's start. Okay, so first I want to talk about Little Witch in the Woods. Now this game is also on PC. And I actually did buy it on PC, but I've been playing it on Xbox Game Pass because it's just way easier to play it on there to me, because I just have a laptop. But anyways, that is besides the point. Little Witch in the Woods is a really cute pixel art game. It's so pretty. It's just so soothing. And when you think October, of course you think about witches and vampires and ghosts and all of that stuff. So in this game, you play as a witch's apprentice and you're on your way to go to your apprenticeship, and your train gets caught somewhere. You end up at this witch's cabin along with your hat, which talks to you, and it's so cute. It's such a like sassy little hat. I love it so much. So a majority of the time it's more of a cozy type game, you know, lots of task management and quests and collecting items so that you can make potions, and just the scenery is so pretty. I have noticed it's a little glitchy at times, but it is in early access, so I think that's probably what it is. I've noticed when I am inside the cabin, when I'm going down into the little workshop, it gets kind of stuck there and I have to keep doing it over and over again and vice versa. But it's nothing too bad. I mean, it's still enjoyable, it's still a nice time, and it's just kind of relaxing. The story is very cute. The beginning has been it was a little story heavy, which I don't mind. I really love. I mean, I'm a visual novel kind of girl too, so it's fine for me, but I'm sure some people might not like that. But once you get past that beginning, that initial little story that kind of gives you the exposition of why you're there, it's a really fun time. You know, lots of little creatures and fun potions to brew. I think if you're just looking for something really cozy and fun for October, it's a perfect kind of light game to play. So that would be first on my list of recommendations for games for October on Game Pass. Next, I want to talk about the game Death's Door. You play as this crow who is collecting souls, and I think the animation is just so pretty. It's so cute. It has this very eerie vibe. This one is an action adventure game. Now, I'm not too far into this game, but it is fun. It's more dungeon crawlery. You're going through these different mazes, and there's all these different like little creatures in there. You have to kind of find your way around, and I don't want to say it's exactly puzzles, but kind of you have to figure out how to get through the maze essentially. So you're collecting these souls, and there are these big boss fights. And the bosses are really neat looking. So yeah, so far I think like it perfectly encapsulates the vibe of October. It's spooky but still kind of cute, and it seems like it's more of a challenging type of game. I just really wanted to include it on this list. Definitely check it out. If you're looking for something maybe a little less cozy, something that's a little bit more of a challenge and definitely has that spooky cute vibe to it, I think this is a good option for you. All right, next I want to talk about an RPG, Life is Strange True Colors. Now, I know this game has been out for a little while, but I wanted to include it because I kind of feel like if you haven't played it, you should give it a go. It's really fun, very immersive. Like I said, it's an RPG game. And I think automatically whenever a game takes place in like a small town, I get autumn vibes from it. I don't know, maybe it's because of all my time watching Gilmore Girls or something. So this game, if you've never heard of it, which I mean, I'm sure most people have heard of Life is Strange, but if you haven't, you better not bite that. You better not bite that, sir. So if you haven't, you play as this character, Alex, and I feel like she's a very relatable character, at least for me. She's, you know, kind of shy, a little awkward and weird, and she has these strange supernatural powers that she can't quite get a hold on. So yeah, you move to this small town with your brother, well, to go live with your brother in Colorado, I believe. And so it's very scenic. I just thought visually it pleases me so much. The colors are so warm and beautiful. And so yeah, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but as you can see, it has that kind of supernatural aspect to it, and just a little town. I don't know. It just gives me these October vibes personally, because there's a little bit. I don't want to say spooky. It's not exactly spooky, but it has these dark psychological elements to it. So I think like if you're a fan of more of a psychological type of horror, then you'll like this. Again, I don't think it's scary. It's not scary, but it just has that element, you know, of a psychological thriller, I guess, sort of. And it's such an immersive RPG. I mean, you play as her. Every decision you make counts. Whatever option you choose, it counts towards what happens in the story. And I love those kinds of games, you know, the kind of like choose your own adventure sort of thing. So if you're looking for something that's a little darker, an RPG that's a little darker, but you don't want to go full on horror or anything, then I think Life is Strange True Colors is a really good option. It has like this cozy-ish vibe to it while still being a little bit darker. Right, next I want to get to my favorite game on this list. I am just about to finish it. I believe I'm on like the last leg of this game, and this is kind of what inspired this video, is the game Beacon Pines. It just got to Game Pass not too long ago, I believe at the end of September. And it is just so good. Like if you love cozy games, definitely play this one. It has, let's see, it reminded me kind of like Little Misfortune. If you've ever played that game on Switch, amazing. Little Misfortune, always recommend that. But anyways, we're not talking about that in this game. Kind of like Little Misfortune-ish and Over the Garden Wall, sort of. Like, I don't know, not exactly. Like this is definitely its own unique thing. But if I had to pick something to kind of compare it to, it would be those things. So in this game, you play as this adorable little guy, Luca, and you live in this little town called Beacon Pines. And my gosh, the artwork in this game is beautiful. It's so amazing. It is a sort of visual novel-ish game. So if you don't like story-heavy games, you might not like this, but I still say give it a chance because it's not a very long game. I think you can finish this game in probably a day or two. It's really not very long. And I like that it's a cozy game, a visual novel, but I don't know, it's so much more. The way that it tells its story is very unique to me. And yeah, you're playing as Luca, but there is this narrator where the narrator is the only actual human voice you hear. She's telling the story, and like in the other one, your choices do matter. But throughout most of it, it's more like following this story. And along the way, you pick up these charms, which you have to collect these charms in order to fill in the blank in the story. And whatever choice you make, whichever charm you use, affects the outcome of this story. And every time you choose something that's wrong, the story ends and it's kind of a bad ending. But you have to play through all of the endings in order to get to the good ending. And so in that way, it also kind of reminded me of the game AI the Somnium Files. It's very similar to that, where you have to play through every single outcome or branch of the story in order to understand the full thing. So it's like that. So in this story, there's just lots of really charming characters. I feel even the characters that aren't meant to have a huge part, you just kind of come across them briefly or whatever. They're just side characters. They're all so engaging and cute and interesting, where you feel attached to them automatically. And I think that is very rare for a game that is so short, and there are actually quite a few characters in it. I don't know, I found myself loving all of them, even the ones that are kind of the bad ones or whatever. You just grow so attached, and visually they're all just so adorable. I mean, they're all really cute animals in little clothes, and all of these characters, they kind of talk like Animal Crossing characters. You can't understand what they're saying, but it just kind of, it just works. Like, everything about this works for me. So you go through the town, you can like walk through it, and then, you know, once it cuts to the scenes where people are talking, that's where it kind of turns visual novelish to me. And yeah, there's just lots of fun little elements. You get to solve a mystery in this tiny little town, and this does take place during summer, but it had such autumn vibes, to be honest. It didn't feel like summer when you're playing it. It's like a perfect October game, I feel like. Whether you like just cozy games or you, whatever game you like to play, I feel like everyone should play this. It's, like I said, it's pretty short, very cute. The characters are so great. Like, I loved every single one. Luca is just such a cute little baby. There's just, I can't say enough good things about this game. So if you're gonna play just one game from this list I'm saying, play Beacon Pines. It is so good, and I absolutely love it. I love the way that they told this story. I love the way that they introduced the characters and just everything about it, the mechanics of this game. It's simple, but it feels so immersive, you know? I felt so connected to these little characters and, you know, rooting for them. And it's really fun trying to figure out the mystery, you know, with every branch, everything that you solve, trying to figure out what's going on and putting the clues together is really fun. And I'm the kind of person that always, like, when I'm watching a movie or something, especially if it's something spooky or whatever, I always kind of, in my head, I'm guessing what the end is going to be. And with this one, it took a while for me to be like, wait, what's going on here? So it's a really fun game. I really recommend it. So lastly, I wanted to talk about two games that I want to actually play this month. I haven't started these yet, but they're on my list, and I kind of feel like they fit the October vibes too. So I wanted to mention them. The first is Costume Quest 2. I've never played the first one, so I'm not very familiar, but it absolutely screams October. And from what I understand, it's a very short game, so I'm thinking of playing it a little closer to Halloween. And it's where you're trying to save Halloween. I know that the main characters are really cute little things, and you're trying to save Halloween from this guy who hates, I guess, everything Halloween and costumes and candy, hates all of that. So you're trying to save it. And I just thought that sounds so perfect. It's an RPG type game. I see that the combat looks really interesting. From what I understand, it's a really funny game too. It's very cute. So I thought, you know, that looks really fun, and it's short, so I think it's kind of a perfect game to play maybe right before Halloween, or maybe even on Halloween if I stay in, I'll play it. So it looked really cute, really funny, and I believe that there's time travel in the game too. I think that's what I understood from the trailer. So yeah, maybe check it out if you're looking for something fun and light and quick to get through, just to get in the Halloween spirit. The next game I want to talk about is the game Backbone. So from my understanding, it is also a very short game, and it is a pixel art type game. It has this noir feel to it. The colors just reminded me so much of fall. It had very much of a moody feel to it, and I believe you play as this, I don't know if he's a detective exactly, but you're definitely trying to solve a mystery. So I thought, that's perfect. As you can tell, I have a theme I'm going for this October. It's all about solving mysteries and it being a little spooky, but not too spooky. It's my understanding that you get to solve puzzles, and it is a very story-driven game. And yeah, it's pretty short. So that's something I'm going to be checking out this month as well. Definitely check it out if you like the look of it. And, you know, again, I'm trying to choose things where you can get through that. Like, it's not going to take you months to get through. These are things where you can play it during October at some point when you just want something to get you into that spirit, that October autumn spirit. And these are two sort of honorable mentions that I wanted to include in this video, though I don't know much about these games. I've never played them. I didn't really look into them, but they do look like if they fit the aesthetic, and I kind of just want to include them in case you're not familiar or you're looking for something else that might intrigue you. But you might want to check them out if you like the other recommendations in this, and it kind of fits, but it's a different style of game that maybe you're into more so than me. I think that is all for my recommendations on Xbox Game Pass for this month. Definitely check out these games if you'd like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Mocha says, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Alright, well, big kisses, and I hope you have a spooky October. I will hopefully be back again this month with another video. So, have a lovely day. Big kisses. Bye for now.